So, this last song, Keep On Moving, to me resembles a little bit more of the original Deep Purple, where you've got the great musicianship, excellent vocals, in this case an addition of great harmony between Coverdale and Hughes, and then of course you've got the organ solo, you know, a little bit more instrumental stretching out the song, and then you got the guitar solo, and then you've got that excellent steady groove of the rhythm section holding it all together. You know, that's the Deep Purple I know, man. Hey, I'm not shitting on this lineup of Deep Purple. I'm just saying that it's just a little ways different from the original. Of course, you're going to have to draw a comparison, but I'm going to try and see if I can segment it in my mind and treat it for what it is. For what it is, it's a good album. Overall, it's a good album. I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5. What really hurt it for me are two things. One, didn't utilize Jon Lord enough where it comes to the organ. I don't know, for some reason, Deep Purple to me embraces the organ. That is what I visualize in my mind. Great utilization of the organ. You know, one of the best in rock and roll. You can't ever diminish that. You can't put that off to the side and treat that instrument as a secondary instrument. No, man. It's spent so many years, so many albums being built up as a prime instrument. Jon Lord is a great rock god. Don't put him anywhere below that status, right? And so that's strike one. And then strike two, I shouldn't call it strikes. I should just call it check marks or whatever the case is. But the funky groove, especially in side one, just tarnished it a little bit for me. The funky groove, I give credit where it's due, where some bands can incorporate the funky groove. Some established acts have been successful with it. It feels foreign to me here. It felt as if it didn't belong. It wasn't needed. It was something extra being infused that wasn't necessary. That's how I felt about it. So overall, it could have scored higher as just being a really good album. It is a really good album. It could have probably got another half point out of me, but I'm going with 3.5 out of 5. Still Deep Purple, still really excellent, but yeah, when you're comparing it to the original, or even just treating it for what it is in front of you, 3.5 is the best that I can give it, man. But I was really stoked to actually get to this lineup featuring Tommy Bolin. Tommy Bolin was introduced to me a year ago by Agachita. I can't think of Tommy Bolin without thinking about your crazy ass, man. So that was really cool that you introduced me to Tommy Bolin, and I did a Gone Too Soon and another Tommy Bolin feature, and then I did a back-to-back with Tommy Bolin and Jeff Beck. So I was looking forward to getting to this and getting a feel for how he would mix in with Deep Purple, and he mixed in very well, man. Didn't skip a beat where it comes to the guitaring and all of that element. I definitely get a feel for his influence in some of these songs, definitely. So let's do a little background research, man. Let's just call this the end of side 2 right here, and let's go into the review portion. It's just a point break for me in case I need to break these up so it can get onto YouTube. Alright, quick review, man. Come Taste the Band. Come Taste the Band is the 10th studio album by English rock band Deep Purple, originally released October of 1975. It was co-produced and engineered by band and longtime associate Martin Birch. It was the final Deep Purple studio record prior to the band's initial disbandment in 1976. Therefore, making it the only album to feature Tommy Bolin, who replaced Ritchie Blackmore on guitar, and the final of 3 albums to feature David Coverdale on lead vocals and Glenn Hughes on bass, as none of the 3 would be involved with the reactivated Deep Purple in '84. So, from the very beginning, well no, Ian Pace was the second drummer. Okay, yeah, so or John Lord, I think, was the only original from beginning all the way through. Am I correct? It is also the only studio album to involve neither Blackmore nor vocalist Ian Gillan, as every prior and subsequent album features at least one of the two. Release and reception. The album sold reasonably well upon release, number 19 in the UK charts and number 43 in the US. The album was certified silver on the 1st of November 1975 by the BPI, selling 60,000 copies in the UK. In recent years, the album has received some critical reassessment on its own merits, in part due to Bolan's contributions to the album. Gillan, who left the band just over 2 years prior, on the other hand, has stated that he does not view the album as a real Deep Purple album. Lord praised the quality of the album years later in interviews, stating that listening to it now, it's a surprisingly good album, while acknowledging the worst thing you can say about it is that, in most people's opinion, it's not a Deep Purple album, unquote. What these two lads are saying, these two original members are saying, is that it does not, I guess, complement the originality of the Deep Purple sound very well. Still got great musicianship and all that, but there are different hands now controlling the reins, different hands steering the ship. And you know, when that happens, of course, the sound is going to change. So that's what they're really saying. They're really saying that that authentic foundational signature sound of Deep Purple isn't there very much. I mean, you still got John Lord present, you still got Ian Pace present, but yeah, you know, but I guess if we're being honest, that's probably the reason why Ritchie Blackmore left. He was losing control over the signature sound for whatever reason. Maybe it's he was outvoted, maybe it was environmental influences. Everybody around was changing their sound to accommodate the disco beat, the grooves, and all of this sort of thing, and he wanted to stay focused on the one thing. And being a hard-headed kind of person, he's like, you know, to hell with this, let's go and do something else. It's time to move on anyway. Something like that. If you know your Deep Purple history, let me know. Specifically, I know that Blackmore left because he was frustrated with the sound not being there. But give me specifics about it. Was he losing control? Did he run out of source material and creativity? Was he not getting along with the people he was working with? I thought because he was kind of like the big dog in the yard. So it had to have been something where it's like the rest of everybody against one, or maybe it was the labels. What is it that caused, ultimately, Blackmore to feel that he was losing control over the reins of the signature sound, justifying his departure? If you know your Deep Purple history well, you gotta be a serious-ass fan to know the answer to this question. Educated, brother. Alright. Released on the 25th of October 2010, the 2-CD Deluxe 35th Anniversary Edition includes the original album in remastered form, plus a rare US single edit of You Keep On Moving on the first disc, and a full album remix and 2 unissued tracks on the second disc. Same in LA, a 3-minute outtake from the final release in '75, and Bolan/Pace Jam, a 5-minute instrumental jam with Bolan and Ian Pace. All of that shit that I just read, that entire paragraph, no breaks, no commas, no periods, nothing. Wikipedia, I love you, but at sometimes, brother, After tours for this album concluded in March of '76, Deep Purple broke up for 8 years. Tommy Bolan formed his own band that toured in support of Peter Frampton and Jeff Beck, but it was short-lived as he died of multiple drug intoxication in December of '76. Morphine, cocaine, lidocaine, and alcohol were all found in his system. Damn, what a way to go. 25 and there's so much more. You know where I got that phrase from, right? You know, 24 and there's so much more. Well, in Tommy's case, 25 and there's so much more. Damn. He must have been battling some serious demons to have this sort of shit in his system. Morphine, cocaine, lidocaine, alcohol. A 25-year-old young man having all of that shit in his body? Yo, he's got some serious demons that he was wrestling with. Tell me about Tommy Boland's demons. If you know the man, what was he battling? What was it? Was it the industry and all of the sharks in the business that just kept him down and he needed to cope? The rigorous touring schedule? I believe he was biting off a little bit more than he can chew. He was in Deep Purple. He was doing his solo stuff. I remember shades of things of that flavor when I was doing his Gone Too Soon series. But I believe that that was that plus perhaps, oh yeah, and he was a session musician. Yeah, man. So he had a lot on his plate, maybe bit off a little bit too much, something of that sort. But if you know the details specifically of why he had so much stuff in his system, definitely battling some sort of demons, let me know what his demons are, man. Alright, so that concludes my look, reaction, and review of Come Taste the Band. A good album overall, good solid album. If it just fell out of the air into my lap without any kind of previous knowledge of Deep Purple and their signature sound, and I played it, I would say to myself, that's a damn fine album. I might have given it, I don't know, a 4 out of 5, but I'm sitting at 3.5 out of 5, because as much as I'd like to disassociate the originality of Deep Purple, I can't. So I gotta dock them that half point. So 3.5 out of 5 is pretty decent, man. Where do you grade it? Where do you put this album, and why? Do you agree with some of the previous band members that it's not a Deep Purple album, meaning the signature sound from the original is not there anymore? And or is it another reason? Let me know. Let me know why, if you think so. If you really dig the hell out of it and you love it, that's great. Tell me why as well. That'd be cool. It's interesting following the chronology and the growth progression of these supergroups, mainly the three of them, the Unholy Trinity. And it's really, really cool to, you know, I mean, I'm following Pink Floyd as well, but not as closely and as focused as I am with the Unholy Trinity. And I'm in the stage where, with Black Sabbath, for example, you know, they've got Hughes at the helm, and I think in the next, it was Stormbringer that I did, and so the next album after that, which I'm not sure of, I don't know who is in the band lineup at that point, but it's going to be very interesting just basically checking out and charting the progression of these bands as they go along, good, bad, and otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of get a feel for them and how time influenced them, how challenges in life influenced their sound, how acts of God influence their sound, all of these different variables. So, you know, hey, if I call myself a fan of rock and roll, you gotta chew in all of it, the good, the bad, and the not so bad, and the not so good. So that's how I'm gonna roll, man. So I'm following the Unholy Trinity all the way to the end. So that concludes my reaction, man. I'm just scrolling down to my notes here. All right, classic rock platform. So Thomas, your quad is up next, brother. Ford, Antoine, Amy, Charles, you guys got quad coming up. Do not hit me up if I didn't mention your name in the lineup. If you have a quad submitted to me and I give you a thumbs up, yes, I got it, that means that it's coming. Don't be hitting me up saying, oh yeah, you didn't list my name in that name. It's coming, right? That stuff is so annoying, man. You have no idea. So, so there's that. And I got, yeah, the weekend is upon us already. Damn, man. I got a Zeppelin reaction coming up, and I believe that I'm going to be concluding my, yeah, the song remains the same, live Zeppelin stuff. And a few folks have sent me, believe it or not, other Zeppelin material live from wherever, and stuff that I haven't heard. I don't know how long this is gonna how long this is gonna be. I don't know how many, I don't know, tracks Zeppelin cut that were unfinished, unpolished, whatever the case is, but it seems like it's an endless stream of stuff that they've done that they hadn't perfected in the studio, or that they just did as a one-time just for the hell of doing it. So there's a lot of stuff Zeppelin-wise that I hadn't heard before that I've still yet to get to. So I'll try and see if I can balance it out well, and not doing too much of one side or the other and just irritating people. I don't want to do all full live stuff in one side and then do a whole bunch of just stuff that I hadn't heard on the other. So I'm trying to find a balance there so that it isn't tilting to one side or another. I think I might try and see if I can mix it up like I did last time. I did one unknown track, and then I did one live track from The Song Remains the Same. So I might go with that and see if that format is a nice equal measuring. I gotta finish off my Pink Floyd too, man. My Pompeii, 72 Pompeii. So I gotta get on that. I'm a couple of weeks behind on that. So I gotta do that. So yeah, man, other than the stuff that I listed in regards to quads coming up, that's what's happening in my world. So thanks for joining me, man. I hope you like this. I hope you like this album. Hope you like the reaction. Despite the fact that, you know, the lineup has changed, time has gone past, these guys are still great quality musicians, and they still represent the genre body specific of rock and roll very well. So that's basically all that matters in the end. It's a damn fine rock and roll album, and that's it. End of story. So you guys have yourselves a good one. Take care. I'll catch you in another reaction. Peace.